Imagine for a moment that the scenario which once gave us hope with Hendrik's repetitions is repeating itself, but this time with Barcelona at the center of it all. One of the greatest gems of Brazilian midfield is on the verge of wearing the jersey you love so much. Pay attention to what you're about to hear, because this story involves promises, rejections, rivalries, and a silent war between Europe's giants. Marcus Rashford was offered to Barcelona, but Manchester United gave a tough response. Nico Williams is on the verge, even with Bayern offering more money. And Dembele dropped a bombshell that left fans divided. Before we continue, think to yourself, would you accept seeing Messi back at Barcelona? Write it in the comments now. And if you're a true Kuel, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned, because what follows will take your breath away. Barcelona is very close to finalizing a deal with C. Lucas, a 17-year-old who has already put Serie A on alert from Brazil. Strong midfield marking, rare game reading, and a personality that commands respect, even among professionals. Compared to many cases like Casemiro in his prime, C. Lucas is already treated as an absolute priority for Deco. Sport Recife has confirmed that there are intense negotiations and, according to José Felix Diaz, details for the agreement are being finalized. But there is an important point. Like Hendrik, he will not be able to wear the Barcelona jersey until March 2026, when he turns 18. This does not stop the enthusiasm of the Catalan club. On the contrary, it reinforces the strategy of planting now to harvest soon. The recruitment of Joan Garcia was only the first step. Barcelona is building a new foundation, one that blends young talents with experienced names, and in this plan, the name of Nico Williams has gained strength. Conversations between Deco and the player's agent, Felix Taina, have already generated confidence within the club, and even with Bayern offering more, Nico seems to have chosen Barcelona. Why is this important? Because for the first time in months, Barcelona is winning off the field. Right, I believe, if you want to see Barcelona stronger than ever. Nico Williams has already warned that he wants to continue in the Spanish Liga, and Barcelona has committed to paying the release clause of €62 million. This is a clear signal. The club is not just waiting for miracles, it is ready to act. The connection between Nico and Lamine Yamal also carries great weight. Recently, Yamal posted a photo with his friend on social media. It was a subtle gesture, but in the locker room, it is worth more than 1,000 statements. Bayern has tried again to change the game, but the player's response has been simple: I want to be part of Barcelona's future. What few people know is that Barcelona is also looking into the name of Rooney from Copenhagen, a discreet operation valued at only €2.5 million, but with great technical potential. Barcelona's midfield is being redesigned piece by piece, and in this context, the attempt to loan Marcus Rashford has emerged. The club wants the attacker for a season. Flick sees Rashford as the ideal partner for Lewandowski, but Manchester United has been clear. They will only accept selling for €40 million. Barcelona's position is clear. It will not compromise the budget for such a high operation, especially with financial fair play to respect. Right, yo confío, if you believe that Barcelona will overcome everything. According to Sky Sports, the main obstacle in this negotiation is Rashford's astronomical salary. Even if the player shows interest in Barcelona's project and publicly admires Lamine Yamal, the financial barrier is enormous. However, Flick continues to push internally to explore alternatives. The new coach wants speed, depth, and aggression in attack, and Rashford offers all that and more. But time is pressing and things are heating up behind the scenes. A decision will be made in the coming days and it could change everything. Meanwhile, eyes remain fixed on Nico Williams. The newspaper Sport has revealed that Deco is personally monitoring every step. Meetings with the agent are constant, and Barcelona believes it can announce the recruitment even in this transfer window. Club Deportivo de Bilbao has already begun to prepare for the loss. The season Nico had, with 11 goals and 7 assists in 45 matches, only strengthens Barcelona's desire. But the decisive point is not the number of goals, it is the combination of speed, consistency, and maturity on the field, something rare at 22 years old. Right, Barca Force, if you are ready to support the club unconditionally. But there is a detail that few analyze: the emotional weight of this potential arrival for Lamine Yamal. Nico is more than a teammate in the national team, he is a friend, someone who can share the responsibility in the toughest moments. And Barcelona understands that a strong team starts off the field, in relationships, in the silent codes that unite players. That is why this recruitment has such a special dimension. It is not just technical, it is also strategic and symbolic. It is a response from the club to those who said that Barcelona no longer had the power of attraction. And when we talk about symbols, it is impossible to ignore what Dembele recently declared in an emotional interview. The Frenchman opened his heart about meeting Lionel Messi, now in opposing camps, now as rivals in the Club World Cup. Dembele admitted that he had never imagined facing his idol one day. He said that Messi was the silence that dominated the locker room, the calm that inspired, the simplicity that hid a genius. He revealed that he learned more from Messi than from any coach. Right, yo Vivi, if you have felt this emotion over the decades. He remembered the first time he saw Messi up close, sitting and lacing his boots, and that serene appearance that said everything without saying anything. For Dembele, being with Messi was one of the best professional experiences, but now it is different. Now they will meet on the field, and the Frenchman has been honest. If he has to tackle him hard, he will, because at that moment, he will not be the friend, he will be the rival. This statement moved PSG and Barcelona fans, as it reveals something deep, the respect that is built even in the toughest battles. When it comes to the match against Inter Miami, Dembele says there is no room for romanticism. This Messi, at 36 years old, continues to unbalance matches with simple touches, that even walking on the field can move the pieces like no one else. That the ball still speaks to him and that facing him is both a privilege and a burden. He said that PSG must face this match with everything they have, that there will be no room for mistakes, and that if he has to stop Messi or take him out of the game, he will do it coldly, because football does not wait for sentiments. Yet, he ended with a gesture that few would have made. He sent a direct message to Messi, not provocative, but of honor. He thanked everything he experienced by his side and promised to play seriously, because facing the best is the best way to show what he has learned. He said that what he experienced playing alongside Messi was the best gift of his life in football. Dembele, in this interview that moved even the most skeptical, did not ask for applause. He did not speak as a star. He spoke as a human being, someone who understood what it means to share the field with a legend. His words made it clear that even in the face of a confrontation that can define the most awaited title for Paris Saint-Germain, there is a deep respect for Messi. And that, in a world as competitive and cold as elite football, is something that matters, that loves the game, that has seen Messi shine in every corner of Camp Nou, who knows that rivals are also admired. And it is at this moment that Barcelona comes together with its essence, with respect, with training, with values that go beyond victory. When the club bets on young players like Lucas, Nico Williams, or even opportunities with players like Rashford, it is not just to compete, it is to rebuild what made Barcelona something unique. A team that teaches, that welcomes, that transforms promises into idols, that turns the pain of defeat into fuel to come back stronger. The club knows it must be reborn and that this rebirth comes through courageous choices, even under pressure. Right, yo confio, if you want to see Barcelona stronger than ever. Meanwhile, behind the scenes at Camp Nou, Deco and Flick do not stop. There is an obvious synergy between the management and the new coach. Flick did not come to repeat formulas, he came to transform. His demanding, detailed, and direct profile has already begun to affect the locker room. And even though the club still faces financial limitations, intelligence in recruitment can compensate for the absence of giant figures. The goal is clear: establish a competitive team now and dominate in the medium term, a team that has young players with the soul of veterans, leaders with leadership, and a coach with a pulse. Names like Juan Cancelo and Vitor Roque continue to be on the agenda. The technical staff analyzes not only statistics but also tactical fit, mental profile, and history of overcoming, because Barcelona, more than ever, needs players who understand what it means to wear this jersey. Let them know that when they step on the field, they are not just playing football, they are defending a history, a culture, a city, a people who have cried over unimaginable defeats and vibrated with victories that seemed impossible. Right, yo confio, if you believe that Barcelona will overcome everything. The fans, described as the most demanding in the world, today need more than reinforcements, they need clarity, commitment. Every word from Flick in interviews, every action from Deco closely followed by the fans, there is immense expectation, but also patience that is beginning to become rare. Barcelona knows it cannot afford a mistake. A misstep now can cost much more than a season, can mean the definitive distance between the supporters and the field, and the club cannot afford that. In this context, the Nico Williams operation is more than a recruitment, it is a message to the world: we are still here. His choice to reject Bayern and stay in Spain shows that Barcelona's project remains attractive, still inspires, represents something greater than money. When a young player with million-dollar offers on the table decides to wear the bluish-red, it is because he believes in what is being built, and it is undoubtedly a silent but powerful victory. Right, Barca Force, if you are ready to support the club unconditionally. On the other hand, the situation with Rashford exposes Barcelona's limits. The club wants, but cannot, tries, but cannot break the barriers imposed by financial reality. And the fan feels it. He feels it because he sees other clubs spending fortunes while Barcelona negotiates clauses, loans, and fractional salaries. But he is also proud, because even with little, the club resists, fights, insists on finding names that raise the level. And when it is done responsibly, the result may take time, may hurt, but seems worth it. Inside the locker room, players like PEDRI, GAVI, and Araujo are the foundation of this new phase, young players who already carry the soul of the club, who understand what is at stake, who speak with the ownership of the badge they wear. They do not need motivational speeches, they need reinforcements worthy of a stable environment, a management that respects limits but is not afraid to take risks when necessary. And it is happening slowly. Barcelona does not stop, it reinvents itself, even in silence. Right, yo Vivi, if you have felt this emotion over the decades. Dembele, in turn, by opening his heart about Messi, helped reconnect the fans with something that had been lost. Sensitivity in times of numbers, contracts, and business. Remember that there is emotion behind every match, it is rare. His words showed that, even if football is competitive, it is always the people who make it, people who feel, who admire. And when he said that he would have liked to see Messi win titles with PSG, he did not speak only as a player, he spoke as someone who, even from the other side, still has gratitude. And this gratitude is what is missing in many clubs today. Players leave through the back door, idols are forgotten, stories are erased. But at Barcelona, even with all the mistakes of recent years, there is an effort to preserve what has been built, to keep alive the flame that transformed the club into something greater than just a team. For those who lived through the era of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol will never forget it. And those who are arriving now need to understand the weight they carry on that jersey. And this is not taught with videos, it is taught with attitude. Right, apoyo, if you believe that we, the fans, are the true soul of Barcelona. And now, with C. Lucas on the verge of being finalized, Nico Williams on the way, Rashford still in the crosshairs, and moving statements from those who know Barcelona from the inside, the fan feels something different. It's not euphoria, it's not certainty, it's a feeling that something real is being rebuilt. Even with the difficulties, the club is trying to stay true to itself. And when that happens, everything can be reborn, even hope. But it's not just a matter of flick, the fan knows. What really matters now is rebuilding the spirit, making sure that every player who steps onto the field understands the weight they carry. And this weight does not come from stacked titles or million-dollar contracts, it comes from the tears that every fan has shed in silence, from the nights when the team fell, but the faith remained intact. It comes from the father who taught his son what it means to be from Barcelona, from the grandfather listening to the radio glued to his ear, from the mother who put on the club's jersey every match day as a ritual of love. That is why, when we see a young player like C. Lucas appearing on the horizon, the heart tightens, because he can be more than a signing, he can be a new beginning. He hasn't even arrived yet, but he is already a symbol of a bet that goes beyond the field. He represents that fan who believes it is worth waiting, fighting against the limitations, dreaming even when everything seems to be against us, just as it was with Messi, with Ronaldinho, with so many others who arrived without fanfare and changed everything. Right, yo confio, if you want to see Barcelona stronger than ever. And the same goes for Nico. He could have chosen the easiest path, the money, the comfort of a different league, the security of a more stable project, but he preferred the challenge. He preferred to face the pressure to wear a jersey that demands more than talent. He preferred to join a club that, even wounded, remains a giant. And this choice says a lot. It says that there is still something at Barcelona that attracts, something that cannot be bought, something that is alive, even if sometimes it sleeps inside the locker room. This spirit is beginning to circulate again. The players look each other in the eye, stand shoulder to shoulder, talk about honor, represent not only the institution but also the ordinary fan, the one who does not miss a match, who defends the club even on the worst days. And this climate is essential, because there is no tactic that works without commitment, and there is no true commitment without love for the jersey. Flick has realized this, and that is why his management has focused as much on values as on strategies. Right, yo confio, if you believe that Barcelona will overcome everything. Meanwhile, Deco acts behind the scenes with coolness and patience. He knows that the market is treacherous, that any misstep can cost millions, but he also knows that there are times when you have to take risks. And every decision is made with an attentive heart and an alert mind. The recruitment of Rooney Bark, for example, may seem minor, but in the project, it is strategic. It's not just about numbers, it's about mentality, attitude, forming a new backbone. And in this scenario, the saga with Rashford takes on even more delicate tones, because it's not just about a player coming from the Premier League, but someone who can bring experience, explosiveness, and international respect. Rashford is not at his best level, that's a fact, but sometimes the right environment, the right club, the right jersey can make everything be reborn. And Barcelona, despite everything, remains that place for many. Right, Barca Force, if you are ready to support the club unconditionally. Flick wants hungry players, with a story, something to prove, and Rashford, more than ever, needs to prove it. The negotiation is tough, the numbers are high, but the desire exists. And where there is desire, there is a way. What remains is to know how far Barcelona can go without compromising its future, what it can offer now without betraying its limits, because the mistake of the past was precisely this, seeing beyond what is possible. And now, with open scars, the club moves forward with more caution. Meanwhile, the fan watches, evaluates, grits their teeth, but also encourages, because they know they are facing a new era. It's not yet a golden era, but a possible one, where Barcelona can be competitive again, can command respect, can, above all, regain the trust of those who have never abandoned it. Because more than titles, the fan wants to feel proud, wants to vibrate with commitment, wants to recognize the team that is on the field, wants to see the soul. And this soul takes shape gradually, in the young players who arrive with stars in their eyes, in the veterans who stay out of love for the club, in the leaders who try to correct mistakes without shirking responsibilities. In a Dembele who, even from the outside, speaks of Barcelona with love, in a Messi who, even from a distance, remains the symbol that unites all generations. Barcelona is not perfect, never has been, but it is unique. And when it comes together with its essence, it is unbeatable. Because its strength lies not only in the players, but in the feeling it awakens in millions. This feeling does not disappear, it can sleep, hide, but it never dies. It is in the stifled cries after an elimination, in the teary eyes after an epic victory, in the child who shouts, "Force Barca!" without knowing how to explain why, in the 70-year-old fan who has seen it all and is still amazed. It is in the silence of those who suffer in silence, but never stop believing.